So we're looking at direct variation equations here in preparation for our quiz tomorrow. And the directions on our quiz are going to say, suppose y varies directly as x. Write a direct variation equation and then solve. So here's an example problem here, and it's if y equals 15 and x equals 10, solve for x when y equals 27. So we've got two ways to solve this, or to find our k value, because we know direct variation equations are y equals k times x, and k is our constant of variation. We know that all direct variation equations go through the origin, so we'll just put our first point as 0, 0, and our second point as 10, 15. Now, we know the slope formula, and this is one way to do it. I'll show you another way on the next example, but one way will be to find that k value, which we also said was our slope, using the slope formula. So I have 15 minus 0 over 10 minus 0. That becomes 15 over 10, which then equals to 3 over 2. Now, we need to solve for x when y equals 27. That is that question there, but it also tells us to write a direct variation equation. That direct variation equation is going to look like y equals 3 over 2x. That's one part of the answer. The second part of our answer is going to be solving for x when y is 27. So if I take this equation here and I plug in 27 for y, I've got 27 equals 3 over 2x. Now, I'll just multiply both sides by 2 over 3, because that's the same as dividing a fraction. That's the same as dividing a fraction, so what you'll do here is you multiply it by its inverse, so 3 over 2, instead of dividing, you flip it. We also say keep, change, flip, and we multiply times 2 over 3, and then we're going to do the same thing over here, times 2 over 3. So I get 54 over 3, which is also 18, so we have x equals 18, and that's the second part of our answer here. So this is actually, I pulled this question directly from the quiz. It's going to be question number 2 on there. And it's the same directions, so I'm going to show you the other way of doing it. We have the slope formula, but we know we have this equation y equals k times x. If I take the y and I put in 54 equals k, and then I've got my 9 here, I can just solve this equation for k right away, because it told us that they vary directly. Y varies directly as x. So that means it works in this equation. Divide by 9, divide by 9, and we've got 54 divided by 9 to be 6. So our k value is 6 there. Now, again, the first part of my equation is going to be my first part of my answer is going to be write a direct variation equation. That's going to be y equals 6x, part 1 of my answer. Then it tells us to find y when x is 3.5. Well, that's really easy, and we go y equals 6 times 3.5. I know 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times a half is 3. So 18 plus 3, that's going to give us a y value of 21. That's our second answer. On our quiz, we'll have another problem just like the first two. And then we're going to have 2 more questions asking us to state the constant of variation and the slope for those graphs. So don't get confused on those. Those are so straightforward. We had lots of those on our homework, and this quiz should be really easy for you. You guys are going to rock it.